into our second series of Girl Talks. First, Girl Up leader Meena shares a deeply personal story about the transformative power of education. Then, self growth advocate Jana will take us on an uplifting journey of self love, sharing the pitfalls of perfectionism and the importance of positive self talk. Finally, youth podcaster Mahareen will address the issue of colorism. You guys can go take the pictures, then I'll continue. I need a picture, come here fast. How's everyone doing so far? Good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So before we go to our second series of girl talks, we're gonna try a little activity so I can gauge how today's going. So raise your hand if you learned something interesting today. I better see everyone's hands up right now. Okay. So raise your hand if you met someone new and that you're excited to keep in touch with. All your hands should be up for this. Come on. I'm so excited looking at you guys. Everyone looks so preppy also, by the way. Everyone looks gorgeous. I want to tell that. And also, clap your hands if you're ready for the rest of the day. Come on, guys. Okay. So, so let's take this energy to our second series of Girl Talks. First, Girl Up leader Meena shares a deeply personal story about transformative power of education. Then, self-growth advocate Jana will take us on an uplifting journey of self-love, sharing the pitfalls of perfectionism and the importance of positive self-talk. Finally, youth podcaster Maureen will address the issue of colorism and how we can overturn beauty standards to be more accepting and inclusive of all. Let's go! Give it up for Jana, everybody. Try the other one.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. I know that you've heard a lot of talks today and you probably are really tired, but I want you to please refresh yourself for this talk and sit back up and listen very carefully because this talk is about the most important relationship in your life, and that is your relationship with yourself. You are the only person that you are going to be spending every waking second and moment of your life with. So it's about time that we learn how to treat ourselves properly with respect and kindness and love that we deserve and need. My name is Jana, and I'm a first year finance undergraduate student at the University of Birmingham, Dubai. And I've gratefully had my fair share of leadership back in my time in school and university. But what I'm going to be talking about today is something that no school or institute will teach you. And that's something that you're going to have to make an effort to learn yourself for your well being and welfare. I know that in a room full of brilliant young female leaders like yourselves, we can sometimes get so into the flow of our work and in service and giving back to others and making a difference that we get so busy to the point where we start to neglect ourselves. And what we don't know is that we will not be able to make the true impact that we want to see in this world if we continue to neglect ourselves in the process. You can't fill from an empty cup. You have to start learning how to tend to your needs first, to listening to your emotions and to feeling your emotions and feelings as they arise. Because the opposite of feeling is storing, and that can get very, very heavy. You need to be emotionally available to be able to fulfill your roles and responsibilities, not just as a person in everyday life, but especially as a leader. Because you need to be emotionally available as a leader and have that courage to face these negative emotions and to admit once you've made a mistake so that you can create that space for your team to do the same, to come forth and face these negative emotions and admit their mistakes so you can work on them and solve them together. Again, in a room of hardworking and successful young women like yourselves, I have the slightest suspicion that something called perfectionism might be an issue. And I'm the first person to put my hand up and say that this is definitely something that I've struggled with, that I still sometimes struggle with, but I've come a long way from where I used to be by working on myself and healing my relationship with myself from this toxic mindset. Let's begin by defining perfectionism. Perfectionism, according to one of my favorite self-help authors, Brene Brown, is the toxic thought pattern that if I look perfect, act perfect, and do everything perfectly, then I can avoid the painful feelings of thought, of blame, shame, and judgment. How does this work? We work so hard to produce everything so perfectly and to be so perfect to the point where there is absolutely no room for criticism. And many of us, including myself, might think that this is a good thing, right? Because we work so hard to produce the absolute best quality of work, everything is perfect, no sleep, no rest, right? But in reality, perfectionism is the opposite of self-growth, the opposite of self-development. Because although it might fool you into thinking that it's a good thing and it helps you strive to be the best, it's actually the opposite. Here's the difference. Self-development is focused on being the best version of yourself and achieving your goals and dreams for yourself, while embodying your core values and beliefs. Perfectionism, on the other hand, is external based. We work so hard to make sure that nobody else has a single bad word to say about us or any criticism over our work. And this becomes a problem when eventually, as a human being, we make a mistake and we fall short. And instead of doubting the faulty logic of perfectionism, we blame it on ourselves. And we think it's because we weren't perfect enough and we weren't enough. It's so toxic. It holds us back from our true potential immensely because it makes us so afraid from judgment and criticism that we never take any risks, that we're so afraid from failure, we never put our creativity to play, and it holds us back from our true potential immensely. It creates such a negative headspace and internal dialogue where we're constantly so mean and so harsh to ourselves. So how do we fix this? We need to create a separation from our self-worth and our achievements. We need to build that love and that compassion and that trust for ourselves where we get to a point where we love ourselves unconditionally. We go to bed at night knowing that no matter what we've accomplished in the day and what we haven't accomplished in the day, we still love ourselves regardless, unconditionally. And it is a journey. It will take time. And it's a process where you train your mind to think this way, to treat yourself positively and with kindness and with gentleness and with compassion that you treat other people with. But it is so worth it. So I will leave you with this one piece of advice. Treat yourself as if you're someone you love. If the things you're saying to yourself you wouldn't say to a dear friend or to someone that you love dearly, then you shouldn't be saying them to yourself. So pay attention to your thoughts. Your thoughts are so important. Treat yourself with kindness and respect. And if you've enjoyed this talk, I have plenty of other videos on my Instagram page, all on similar topics like self-development. It's called Jewels of the Soul. I'd love to connect with you on there. And I want you to remember that you are so smart, so strong, so brave, so beautiful, and so perfect just the way you are. Thank you so much.